We should tell his supervisor. He doesn't want to see me. Yes, sir. Let's do it. We're on. Oh, yeah. There it is.
The public hearing does not need to sign up. I'll just call people up individually.
I'll give money a little shout out. He uses it. I'll give money a little shout out.
Yeah.
So I usually don't ask for people to sign up in public hearing. We just open it for everybody to come from. If you'd like, or I can just call her up at the time. Okay.
Try to. We'll see how chatty Larry is tonight.
Oh. So far, he's pretty forward. Yeah. How are you doing?
Mike, how are you? Good. Good.
I'm jumping over. Knock you out, boy.
Here, pass the bag. Kleenex. I have another bag. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. We have quite a full house here tonight. This is the regular meeting of the Joliet City Council, Tuesday, January 15th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m., presided by Mayor Bob Odekirk. Will you call the roll, please?
You want to begin with invocation?
Oh, you want to do the invocation? I'm sorry. I'm going to do the roll first. Okay, so we'll do the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And the pastor's name is Jacob Garcia from the Crossroads Christian Church at 2312 Essington Road.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to be here. Please bow with me as we pray. God, I want to say thank you for the opportunity that we have to be here today. Today I ask that you would bless all of the city leaders and the members of the community that are here. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to live and serve in this great city. We ask your blessing on all that are here and for the city of Joliet. As we start this new year, we ask for continued guidance throughout 2019. We also ask your blessings on this meeting, for our mayor, and for all of the city officials. Please give them wisdom to lead, a hunger for justice, and the ability to collaborate and cooperate, even when there are disagreements. I pray a blessing on the agenda set before us and for the city of Joliet, that their leadership would bless those who live and work here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yep. You'll be fine. You'll have a lot more opportunities. Nice job. Thank you. Thank you, done the roll call first, I guess. It would have been okay.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilman Dickinson.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here.
First on the agenda, we have a proclamation honoring the Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers IHSA Class 5A State Football Champions.
That's a big player in the back.
I do.
Are they on TV here, or they got to face a different?
Closer to you.
Yeah, they gotta come around me by you, yeah.
This isn't about you, Pat. Get the.
It's a huddle, guys. It's a
They
huddle.
can make a horseshoe around you.
Yeah.
Where's Betis?
It's having some difficulties.
This one works, obviously.
That one is fine.
Congratulations, everybody. I think, as you all know, we were fortunate enough here at the city, besides you winning, Jim Trisna's son, Matt's on the team and has kept everybody up to speed on what was going on. Whereas the Joliet Catholic Hilltopper football team is composed of a well-trained, outstanding athletic group who are devoted to the sport of football and who exhibit true sportsmanship at all of their games, which was challenged in some of the opponents. Whereas the November 24th, 2018 Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers won the IHSA Class 5A State Football Championship on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. Whereas the Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers defeated Montini Catholic High School with a score of 35-27 and kept all the fans to the very last seconds. Whereas this was the 14th state football title won by the Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers. Whereas the Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers became the first and only high school football team in the state of Illinois to win 14 football championships or to play in 18 state title games. Whereas 8 players made the East Suburban Catholic Conference team. Whereas seniors Keenan Haley and Kurt Weiss achieved all-state honors. Whereas Keenan Haley was named the East Suburban Catholic Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Whereas the source of the Hilltoppers football team is due to the great effort put forth by the players who committed themselves to producing their best for Joliet Catholic Academy, also to the dedication of the head coach, Jake Jaworski, and all the assistants, all the staff of the school and administration. Whereas the Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers season proved to be a very successful year with a season record of 10 wins and only 4 losses. Now therefore, I, Robert Odekirk, Mayor of the City of Joliet, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby recognize Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers for their outstanding season, congratulate the team, the coaches on their 14th state championship. We thank them for a positive publicity they have brought to the City of Joliet.
Mayor Odekirk, members of the City Council, thank you for taking the time to have us here and recognize our state championship team. We appreciate all the support that we get from the City Council and from the members of the Joliet community. I'd like to thank the Joliet Catholic Academy community for all their support throughout the year. My coaches put a lot of time and effort, and most importantly to our student athletes. Some of them are here today, the guys who committed to a goal and put work in, day out throughout the year to achieve it. They displayed a lot of perseverance, as they battled through the ups and downs of a grueling season to be able to come out victorious. More importantly than winning the championship, we're extremely proud of the way our student athletes represent the JCA community, but also the Joliet community at large with such dignity and class, both on the field, in the classroom, in victory, and in defeat. We're excited to build on the tradition and legacy Joliet has as the City of Champions, and we're humbled to be the latest addition or the latest team to add to that legacy. So again, Mayor Odekirk, City Council, thank you for having us and recognizing us.
Mayor? Yes, Mayor. If I can congratulate the Joliet Catholic team as well. I also was listening to the infamous Hillcrest game in the playoffs, and you young men showed a tremendous amount of discipline in the face of some true adversity in the second half of that game. And I'm very proud of you. Our community is. I would also point out, you may not be aware, that you received the award or the proclamation, arguably from the best football player to come out of the Joliet High School. Right, Councilman Mudrin?
Oh, there's a few other players out there.
Now, I wouldn't argue with Mike Allstat or Tom Thayer about that, but I said arguably. And he graduated in 15. He graduated in 15 from Catholic. Oh, no, 1915, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations, guys.
Good work.
Good job.
Next on the agenda, we have appointments. Tonight, the mayor is recommending 2 sets of appointments. The first appointments will be to the Plan Commission, and next we will have an appointment, the next vote will be for the Board of Fire and Police Commission. So first, the mayor is recommending Mark Misetich and John Dillon be appointed to the Plan Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk? Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Carol Turney to be appointed to the Board of Fire and Police Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the approval of the agenda.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Just one thing, just want to mention I know Dominic Orlando is no longer on the Plan Commission. Just want to say a word that, I think he was an excellent member. He did his homework, he did a lot of research on the topics, and I understand how his appointments work, but I think he should be commended for the work he did on there. I think he did a great job.
I agree.
So.
Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove Council Memo 19-19, which is a resolution authorizing a cost sharing for Pace Bus Route Number 511 to Center Point Service Agreement that will be coming back to us at a later date.
Mayor, on that one, Pace requested that it be pulled off. So.
Is there a motion to approve it with the removal of Council Memo 19-19?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's fine.
Next, we have citizens to be heard on agenda items. This is for all items other than the public hearing items. First, we have Edith Macra, Council Memo 20-19.
Thank you so much for
for having me here tonight. My name is Edith Macra, and I'm the Director of Environmental Initiatives for the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus. We are a not-for-profit council of governments that serves 275 municipalities in the Chicago region, and are very grateful to have the membership of Joliet in the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus. I'm here to address item 2019, which is a resolution supporting the Greenest Region Compact. And the Greenest Region Compact is a consensus sustainability pledge that is before you tonight for consideration. So in support of that resolution, I just wanted to briefly talk about what the Greenest Region Compact is and what it might bring to the city of Joliet. The Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, we're a small but mighty organization which mirrors a lot of the capacity of the municipalities we have in the region. And for us to be effective at anything we do, we needed to put our heads together. So what we did to address sustainability and to try to serve municipalities in the region was to develop a consensus sustainability pledge. This wasn't something that was done in isolation. We looked at what 290 communities across the region are already doing, including what Joliet is doing. And we looked at the kinds of programs and accomplishments that are already successful in the region. We also read every sustainability plan that was prepared by any municipality in the region. And we brought that together, we synthesized that into a simplified document, which is the Greenest Region Compact. And the compact is, it's a 2-page document, 49 very high-level sustainability goals that are appropriate for municipalities to address. And municipalities of all sizes and strengths, not just leaders and rock stars in sustainability, and not just tiny communities. This is something that across the region seems to be goals that are addressable and important for municipalities to consider. And so that compact is what we're asking for support on. The research that we did to prepare the Greenest Region Compact produced a guidebook, if you will, on how to address these goals. It's called the Greenest Region Compact Framework. So all of that research is brought into that framework, which serves as a tool if Joliet chooses to move forward and develop some priorities in terms of sustainability and environmental achievements. You have that guidebook to help you prepare that and work through it. In terms of just adopting the Greenest Region Compact and going as far as that resolution and the compact, that compact brings you into very good company. The Greenest Region Compact is almost 3 years old now, and in those 3 years, we've earned the support of 107 municipalities across the region. So we now have 5.3 million residents in the Greenest Region Compact communities, and we'd be very proud to welcome Joliet to that collaboration across the region. This does represent the largest coalition of municipalities working on sustainability in the country. So we're very proud of that. As far as what's in it for Joliet and why you might want to support it, it brings you again into good company with municipalities. That helps us at the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus express the interest in the wishes of municipalities when it comes to issues such as you might have heard of the Volkswagen mitigation settlement. This was an issue that the Illinois EPA is working with to determine the disposition of $108 million in mitigation funds from the Volkswagen Corporation for cheating on air quality standards. That money we're looking to direct into greener fleets for municipalities. We put our heads together and then try to achieve the goals and the objectives of the Greenest Region Compact, including an initiative now to look at solar development. We have put together a collaborative procurement opportunity called Community Solar Clearinghouse Solutions, or we call it CS Squared for short, in which we're looking to procure community solar subscriptions for public sector accounts, and Joliet has expressed an interest in that. We'll be getting back in touch with Joliet to determine what the viability of that collaborative procurement would be. One other collaborative resource that we're working on involves communities especially that would like to have sustainability staff but don't have the capacity for a full-time sustainability coordinator. We applied for and received AmeriCorps funding to create a corps called the Greenest Region Corps to support municipalities and serve in a voluntary capacity for a 10-month assignment. So we do have a Greenest Region Corps member serving the South Metropolitan Higher Education Consortium that is available to help communities in the region and would be available to help Joliet as well. So these are among the things that we can do together, and I'd just like to, again, thank you for having me here for consideration. I want to thank Joliet for tremendous work in hosting the Greentown event, to Councilwoman Gavin and to the mayor for your participation in that event, and to the rest of the council members for your support of that event. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Maria Anna Rafak.
Good evening. I feel like deja vu. I've seen all of you yesterday. I am here to quickly, once again, echo what Edith said, and not only ask you for your support of the resolution, but I also want to do two more things. First of all, I want to let you know that as a member of a commissioner and as the chair of the the Environmental Commission, and as chair of the Water Conservation Subcommittee, what we are going to do is take a look at the Greenest Region Compact and not just put it on a shelf, but try to put it to use, specifically the pages that relate to water. And so we're going to take a look at that at our next meeting. The second thing that I would like to do is I would like to invite Councilman Quillman to our water conservation meeting. You asked about that yesterday. We're going to be meeting Wednesday at 3 o'clock. We usually get a pretty good crowd, but if you're interested and you want to see what we're looking at or some of the initiatives that we're trying to move forward, like Mayor Oderkirk said yesterday, maybe not waiting until we present this all, but kind of engaging, I invite all of you to come and find out what we're going to talk about and find out how we can put the Greenest Region Compact to work. So I thank you for having me and thank you for supporting the Greenest Region Compact.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? Seeing none, next is council committee reports. Finance committee report.
The Finance Committee met this evening at 5:30 to discuss the following agenda items. We reviewed the engagement letter from Ice Miller LLP, a special counsel bond consultant for the Cullinan redevelopment project and future bond issuance for a fee not to exceed $25,000, which will be reimbursed by the Cullinan properties. We also gave approval for what's on our agenda this evening, for the replacement of some boilers for the hot water heat not hot water heat, but the hot water supply at Riverwalk Homes for $44,350. We also reviewed the monthly financial report, personnel summary, travel expense report, and invoices paid, and found them all to be in order and recommend their approval this evening.
Public Service Committee report.
The Public Service met yesterday at 4:30 here at the Executive Conference Room. On the committee in presence were Councilwoman Gavin, Councilman Dickinson, and myself. Also in attendance was only a couple of staff members, Allison Swisher, Director of Public Utilities, and Jim Trisna. Jim, you didn't have much of a chance to talk, did you? Director of Public Works. It was heavy on water issues. What we did go over, of the contracts, 7 of the 8 contracts we looked at all had to do with awarding contracts for water main capital improvements. Just a brief description of why we're doing that. For the first time in the history of the city, 2 years ago, the Public Service Committee that the 3 of us serve on and the council, with the support of the mayor, instituted the first ongoing capital improvement program for our water and sewer that the city's ever had. Not that we haven't fixed things in the past. This is, maintenance, ongoing maintenance and replacement. We replace approximately 4 miles of water and sewer a year. That comes out to be about 2% of the city's water and sewer, which means every 50 years we'll have brand new water and sewer, and pipes usually run a life of at least 50 years. So we're really, once we instituted this program 2 years ago, now Allison Swisher, the director of the department, has really sunk her teeth into it and is really, she also brought forward, we didn't have to cover it yesterday, but the lead replacement on service lines is all part of this capital improvement, which is something the city needed. So the 7 of the 8 contracts were just small contracts let for different neighborhoods that are being improved this year. Okay, other than that, everything else was in order. The only other issue that, was standard change orders and pay estimates and so forth. And we did vet and view them, and they were all found to be in order. We did go over and look at, as a committee, of the Greenest Region Compact. And I want to thank Edith Macra for saving me some time to describe what it was. You did a better job than I would have. And we did look into it. Couldn't have come at a better time than when we're looking at the sustainability of our water system itself for the next 100 years, which will be decided and finished by the end of this year, by December. And you'll be happy to know that in addition to all the other items, entering the city into the Greenest Region Compact was unanimously recommended by all 3 members of the Public Service Committee. And I look forward to, because there are some things we've done already. We were looking through the many suggestions and recommendations that come with that compact, and some we've already done, like LED lighting as an example. Some things we need to do, and this is a great framework and a great sharing environment to find the solutions moving forward for our sustainability on all different levels. So thank you for coming here today to give us a summary of what the compact is about. And other than that, Mayor, that's what we did at yesterday's meeting, so I am finished. Thank you.
No, Mayor, just
Yes.
to piggyback on that. Years ago, the city of Joliet, you may not know this, but we were recognized as the 50th city in the state of Illinois, as the 50th coolest city in Illinois, and that was with the Sierra Club. So we already were recognized for some of our efforts with recycling and things like that. So, just so you know, we were the 50th one, and we beat out Naperville by half an hour. Ha, ha.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on December 17th, 2018, and the minutes of the council meeting held on December 18th, 2018 stand approved as recorded. Invoices paid report. It's recommended this report be received and placed on file. Council Memo 1-19, regular payroll for November 23rd through December 6th, 2018, $4,183,780.51. Council Memo 2-19, regular payroll for December 7th through December 20th, 2018, $3,251,477.32. It's recommended said regular payrolls be approved. And Council Memo 3-19, position vacancies. It's recommended the city manager be authorized to fill 1 application support analyst position in the IT department and 1 deputy director position in the public utilities department, and any subsequent vacancies which may occur. Is there a motion to approve said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under licenses and permit applications, Council Memo 5-19, issuance of a Class A liquor license located at 3115 West Jefferson Street, Industry Tap House. It's recommended Industry Tap House be issued a Class A liquor license.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Motion carried. Council Memo 6-19, transfer of a Class B liquor license, 1009 Spencer Road to Joliet Golf Club. It's recommended the transfer of a Class B liquor license for Joliet Golf Club be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Show me as abstaining, please.
Councilwoman Quillman?
I will vote aye, but I want to make sure that all the violations were vetted before they can move forward.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 7-19, issuance of a Class E liquor license located at 158 North Chicago Street, Cut 158. It's recommended Cut 158 be issued a Class E liquor license.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 8-19, issuance of a Class E liquor license located at 457 North Scott Street to Mama's Restaurant. It's recommended Mama's Restaurant be issued a Class E liquor license.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under public hearings, Council Memo 10-19, this is a presentation followed by a public hearing regarding proposed Silver Cross redevelopment project area tax increment financing district eligibility study and redevelopment plan and project. There will be no votes this evening, it's just the public hearing and the presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. As everyone knows, the city has probably been working about a year and a half on the study and hopefully adoption of a TIF district at the old Silver Cross site. Since we began this process, we've worked very closely with our partners over at Silver Cross, city team, along with members of our taxing bodies to literally move this potential project forward to hopefully get some redevelopment in an area that really has not seen much redevelopment since the hospital closed. This has been a long process. We basically have 2 steps left. Tonight, the public hearing is an official legal process that must occur, and if all goes well and the council does seek to proceed, we will have ordinances adopting that TIF district on the February 5th meeting, which is the first meeting in February. So to kind of kick off tonight, I'd like to introduce Jeff Dickinson, who is our longtime TIF consultant. He's been involved in the St. Joe's TIF, the downtown TIF, and when you find an expert who knows his stuff, certainly it's in our best interest to use him again. So he'll go through the presentation, and then obviously the public hearing occurs after that. So with that, Jeff.
Thanks, Steve. Mr. Mayor, members of council, glad to be back in front of you. I'm going to provide a summary of the key findings within the eligibility study and redevelopment plan for the proposed Silver Cross TIF. It's approximately 100 acres, so it's not purely the Silver Cross properties themselves, but it's that and the environs, including school sites. As Steve said, we're at the public hearing phase. It'll be up for consideration at your first meeting in February should you elect to adopt the district. This is a brief slide on our methodology. The state law has specific findings that need to be made to create a TIF in terms of eligibility. There's a lot of bullets here. The summary of this is we take this very seriously. We conduct parcel-by-parcel field work, photographing and documenting observable factors. We get help in every different direction from staff in terms of building code data, permit behavior, assessor data from the county. All that is digested before we make a recommendation to you that the area qualifies. For improved TIF areas such as this, there are 2 ways you can create it under state law. A blighted area, which is the higher standard, and a conservation area. You have to find 3 of the 13 factors in the state law, as well as over half the buildings have to be 35 years old or older. We've marked this a potential conservation area for your consideration. So we do have age, more than 50% of the buildings, and then there are actually 5 factors present, and I'll walk through those individually briefly. Age, 52% of the buildings, at least 52%. Some of the old buildings, sometimes the county doesn't have the best age data, so we take, if we're not sure or there's not good documentation, but we're rock solid. 52% of these buildings are over 35 years old or older. Lack of growth in taxable value. The test is 3 or more of the last 5 year-to-year periods must meet the test in order to have this factor present. In 4 of the last 5 periods, the values within the study area have declined. So that's one way you pass the test or the area. It's also grown at less than consumer price index. So there's 2 different ways. You really only need one of those to have eligibility from a tax-based growth perspective. And this is an important factor. When we find this, that's a sign that values aren't growing. That's a concern. Obviously, costs to operate a village or a city are growing, and so if your tax base is shrinking, that could be worthy of an intervention with the TIF district. We found deterioration both on parking lots, streets, sidewalks, as well as buildings. 77% of the parcels exhibited deterioration. That's meaningfully present and present to a significant extent. Some photographs. Oops. Inadequate utilities. sorry, got to go back. Again, working with the utilities, public utilities department, there's storm and sanitary challenges within the district that require investment to be up to current standards. So 70, as much as the capital improvement plan is underway, there's always a lot of work to be done in old cities, and Joliet is no exception in that regard. So 70% of these of the improved land has inadequate utilities. Structures below code. Codes, the city's regularly updating their codes, and 2/3 of the buildings in the district are not up to code. Again, 1/3 of them are, we believe. But again, that's a material finding. These buildings are not out of compliance. They're grandfathered in, but they're not up to current present code. So that factor is also present. Lack of community planning. This is looked at on an area-wide basis. The majority of these buildings were built before the 2007 Quality of Life Plan, and so you have to find that the buildings were built without benefit of planning and direction, and that the district is not developed in a way that is maximally beneficial. So the street layouts and so forth are you can see there's a very limited street network here. It worked okay for the hospital campus. It's not appropriate for redevelopment, really, likely. And so between the area developing without benefit of plan direction and a road network that's really not suitable for redevelopment as it's currently configured, we found lack of community planning to be present. In addition, we looked at the other required tests. Has there been substantial private investment? I think you probably all know this as well as we do. There hasn't been recently. There was Hope Manor was built. That's an affordable veterans building, but that's not market behavior. That's a wonderful public project, or public-private project, but it's not. It requires tax credits and other things that are out of market. Otherwise, there's been no real investment over the last 5 years in the district, and so we believe that no substantial redevelopment is going to occur without this intervention. A TIF district is an intervention by the city in real estate markets that are essentially not performing. And we believe that's warranted here given the lack of progress since the hospital closed. We also have to find that the area is contiguous and that the property are all expected to benefit from the district, and that the future land use plan is consistent with city plans. TIF is not a land use planning tool, it's a financing tool. So the future land use plan and the plan is consistent with your other guiding land use policy that you've made elsewhere. The redevelopment plan, there are certain things you have to have in a redevelopment plan to guide the use of the tool going forward for the 23 years. It's generally pretty high-level things: public infrastructure, resources for building rehab, streetscaping, landscaping, signage, infrastructure, site marketing. It's a broad palette. Support the goals and objectives of other plans. It's not intended to really constrain you. It's constrained really by what is good planning policy, I think. There is a budget, and as is required with every TIF. There's a $40 million total budget here. So the city does not have to spend $40 million. The city will spend only the increment that is generated by this. So to the extent that taxes go up and there are incremental property taxes, you'll have sources that does constrain the ceiling. So this number can adjust a little bit for inflation over the life of the district, but it substantially says, that's the budget of spending. You can move numbers around, so if it turns out you need to spend more money in one of the other categories, that's acceptable, but you can't exceed the budget subject to some minor adjustments. So that's a significant factor in the guiding process for the TIF district. And you do have to go back and amend the TIF, I should say. You could spend more if there's a lot of success and a lot of need, but it would require going back through essentially the adoption process again. Future land use plan is, as I said, not policy by any means. It includes every land use, I think excluding industrial, that we could think of here. So again, you make land use policy in other ways, but this tool can be used for any land use except industrial. You can provide TIF assistance to it because of the broad nature of the future land use plan and the TIF plan. And those are the sort of the high-level bullets.
Thank you.
Next would be the time for the public hearing. This is a public hearing, so comments would be in order at this time.
Does anyone like to speak on this issue? First, please.
Hello, I'm Jeff Tryon, Vice President of Operations at Silver Cross Hospital, and we're excited to see this coming to closure. Steve Jones, compliment him and his staff, and SB Friedman on the year-and-a-half work they did on this. It's coming to fruition now, so we're excited about getting some interest in developing that property. So I do have with me tonight 4 members of the Silver Cross Hospital Healthy Community Commission that are here to support the project: Margie Woods, Howard Wright, Betty Washington, and Reverend Brooks. So they all support the project, but I'm here to tell you that Silver Cross obviously supports this project, and we want to move this along quickly so we hopefully get some development on that property to improve the east side of Joliet. I was also given a letter to read into the record tonight from John Grueling from the CED. So on his letter, it says, on behalf of the CED Board, sorry, I gotta get the glasses, of Economic Development, a private nonprofit economic development corporation whose mission is to support the expansion of existing businesses and the recruitment of new businesses to Will County. For the past 38 years, the CED has assisted over 3,000 companies, resulting in the creation of tens of thousands of new jobs, billions of dollars of new investment, and improving the quality of life for our almost 700,000 residents. On behalf of the CED Board of Directors and its members, we support the plans for the proposed Silver Cross Redevelopment Project Area Tax Increment Financing District in Joliet. This TIF district will prove to be a powerful economic development tool to redevelop this portion of the community. Further reinvestment through the proposed TIF district will provide the best opportunity to revitalize the area through both investment in public infrastructure and new private development. The proposed Silver Cross Redevelopment Project Area Tax Increment Financing District can be a significant driver of new investment, jobs, and prosperity to Joliet and the Will County. The CED offers its full support to the Joliet City Council for the proposed TIF district and recommends approval of the TIF district in the interest of furthering our shared development and redevelopment efforts, signed by John Grueling, President and CEO of the CED. With that, I'd like to introduce Margie Woods, who wants to make a couple comments on behalf of the Healthy Community Commission.
To the, yes, to the mayor and the city council, good evening. I come on behalf of Silver Cross Healthy Commission, Community, and Silver Cross Hospital. We wholeheartedly support the continued development of the former hospital site and the establishment of the TIF community, TIF district. And as you know, Silver Cross has supported the developing in the former hospital since we moved early 1202. In fact, we worked closely with the Veterans Fair to open up the VA clinic. We collaborated with Aunt Martha for a qualified health care clinic on the former hospital site, and we worked with Volunteers of America to build Hope Manor, the first large-scale supportive housing development for veterans in Will County with 67 units. When the demolition of the hospital was completed, we worked hard to find something to do with the old hospital and its site, and the support and growth for the east side. As you know, the east side is sort of dying, as it was many years ago when the county of Will County moved to 302 North Chicago Street. That was in order to build the area up down there and keep that end of town alive. And we did that. And so we're working now to do this, and we would be very much appreciative if you all would come along with us in order to build the east side up. It's not very good when one side of town is up and the other is down. So with the Silver Cross Hospital and the Silver Cross Healthy Community Commission fully support the TIF initiative, as evidenced by my colleagues who are with me today And they've already been introduced to you, but if they would like to stand, we would appreciate it so they can see that these people volunteer their services in order to build and keep what we have in Joliet. Thank you. And I would like to thank you for the opportunity of sharing my thoughts for the evening with you. And with that, I would say thank you so very much. And then also, it's been a long time since I've been down here before you all, but I would also like to say thank you to John Girl for his services. He's been a hard-working person. He also worked with the county, and now he's with the city, and he's with the Forest Preserve. So that's a lot of work. And to you all, as as city councilmen, I'd like to say thank you so much for your services also. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Woods.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service, Margie. You've
Yes.
served many years as well.
Absolutely.
She taught John everything.
Thanks,
there.
Margie. I was going to say the same thing.
All I did was sit and listen when I was on the county board.
Yeah, she's done a lot of work herself. So, and just so you know, the Healthy Community Commission, since they started in 2007, they've provided over $2 million to East Side agencies and scholarships for people on the east side of Joliet. So they need to be recognized for their hard work they've done. So, but again, thank you so much. That concludes our comments.
Mayor? Yes. Can I just make, Ms. Woods, one thing I want to assure you is I look at you like E.F. Hutton. When you talk, I listen. I met you 8 years ago and was impressed with the many years, if not decades, of committed service you've given to your community and to your city as a whole. If anybody loves this city, they just have to look to you to understand how to show your love for the city. So, Miss E.F. Hutton, in my hair.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak during the public hearing? Seeing none, let the record show the public hearing is now closed. Moving on to Council Memo 11-19, ordinances and a resolution associated with Corridor 80 subdivision. This includes a resolution approving an annexation agreement for 101 acres at the southeast corner of Spencer Road and Cherry Hill Road, an ordinance approving the annexation of the 101 acres at the southeast corner of Spencer Road and Cherry Hill Road, an ordinance approving the classification of 101 acres at the southeast corner of Spencer Road and Cherry Hill Road to I-1 zoning, and an ordinance approving a preliminary plat of Corridor 80 subdivision. A public hearing was held on this in December. However, if someone has additional comments, now would be the time to comment on this matter. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this item this evening? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve Council Memo 11-19, ordinances and a resolution associated with Corridor 80 subdivision? This includes a resolution approving the annexation agreement, an ordinance approving the annexation, an ordinance approving the classification to I-1 zoning, and an ordinance approving a preliminary plat.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 12-19 is ordinances and a resolution approving the annexation of 52.1 acres located at 620 Sandal Place and 800 Richard Street, classification to I-1 zoning, and approval of an annexation agreement. Staff is recommending this memo be tabled to the February 5th council meeting. However, we would like to open the public hearing this evening to hear comments and then ask for it to be continued at the end.
Is there anyone who'd like to speak on this memo?
Seeing no comments, I would ask for a motion to continue this hearing to the February 5th council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded To continue Council Memo 12-19 to the February 5th council meeting, Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo 14-19, ordinances associated with CenterPoint Intermodal Center at Joliet Subdivision. This includes an ordinance approving the reclassification of 19.892 acres located at 4001 Brandon Road from ITB to ITC zoning. An ordinance approving the reclassification of 38.334 acres located at 3901 Brandon Road from ITC to ITB zoning. An ordinance approving the reclassification of 24.265 acres located at 3901 Brandon Road from ITB to ITC zoning. It's recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 15-19, an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a massage spa in a B3 zoning district located at 1736 Essington Road. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug.
No.
Councilman Morris.
No.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
No.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
No.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Did I count that right? Sorry. Four. Mayor Odekirk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 16-19, ordinance approving a variation of use to allow a bakery grocery store in an R2 zoning district located at 700 Henry Street. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
In motion seconded to approve, Councilman Morris,
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin,
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman,
Aye.
Councilman Turk,
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin,
Aye.
Councilman Girl,
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Can I just say thank you to the council?
Good luck.
Council Memo 17-19, an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow the new construction and operation of truck hauling facility in an I-2 zoning district located at 3200 Shanahan Road. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under resolutions, Council Memo 19-19 was previously removed from the agenda. Council Memo 20-19, a resolution endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Greenest Region Compact. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 21-19, a resolution authorizing a substantial amendment to the CDBG fiscal year 2018 annual action plan to the amended 2015 through 2019 consolidated plan. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 22-19, a resolution authorizing a substantial amendment to the 2008 Annual Action Plan for the Use of Neighborhood Stabilization Program Funds, NSP. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Grohl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 23-19, a resolution approving a collective bargaining agreement and memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council and Joliet Police Supervisors Association. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Grohl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under award of contracts, Council Memo 25-19, engage Ice Miller LLP as special counsel, bond counsel for the Cullinan redevelopment and future bond issuance. Council Memo 26-19, purchase hot water boilers at Riverwalk Homes. Council Memo 27-19, approve contracts for information technology professional services. Council Memo 28-19, purchase a replacement pump for the well 17D. Council Memo 29-19, award a contract for the Garnsey Park Phase 1A Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 30-19, award a contract for the Garnsey Park Phase 1B Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 31-19, award a contract for the Krings Acres Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 32-19, award a contract for the Marycrest Phase 4A Water Main Improvement Project. Council Memo 33-19, award a contract for the Marycrest Phase 4B Water Main Improvement Project. And Council Memo 34-19, award a contract for the South Rayner Avenue Water Main Improvement Project. It's recommended Council Memos 25-19 through 34-19 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Amendments, change orders, and payments. Council Memo 36-19, pay I-1 user fees. Council Memo 37-19, approve change order number 1 for the 2018 Utilities Electrical Maintenance Service Agreement. Council Memo 38-19, approve change order number 3 for the Aux Sable and West Side Wastewater Treatment Plant's phosphorus removal and expansion project. Council Memo 39-19, approve change order number 9 for the 2017 Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project. Council Memo 40-19, approve amendment number 1 for the professional services agreement for the 2019 Water System Rehabilitation Program. It's recommended Council Memos 36-19 through 40-19 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Thank you. Jim Trisna, Director of Public Works, received the 2018 Samuel A. Greeley Award at the American Public Works Association Southwest Branch of the Chicago Metro Chapter Award ceremony on January 9th, 2019. Congratulations, Jim.
Yay.
The only thing more exciting than a bunch of, It's a 30-plus years of service.
Almost 32.
And counting, right?
Who's counting?
But he has assured me he's not leaving the team, my team.
Good deal.
30 more. I will be working with Joliet and becoming more involved in state legislation matters. We haven't really had much involvement over the years, and I'm looking to change that, so that's just something moving forward. And then, don't forget, we're closed next week, Monday. Right?
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you.
Next is
For
new,
Martin Luther King Day.
next is new business not for final action or recommendation.
I have nothing, sir.
Nope.
Public comments. Is there anyone present that would like to speak under public comments?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Sam Bleemer. I'm the Energy and Conservation Specialist for Will County. I'm sorry I was late and didn't get to speak with Edith and Maria, but I just want to thank you for your endorsement of the Greenest Region Compact, the Will County Regional Sustainability Network, which is a child of Greentown, our partnership between the county and the city. This is just an example. We promised you results and we're bringing them to you. I just want to thank you for your participation and your patience and as we got things rolling. So thank you very much, and thank you on behalf of all of the residents who look forward to seeing the strategic implementation of this sort of work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Happy New Year, Mr. Mayor, City Council, City staff. At December 18th pre-council meeting, I spoke under the public hearing.
Your name, please.
Excuse me?
Your name?
John Sheridan, but I don't have to give that name. It's the last time I'm going to do that, so as I talk to corporate council one day. Anyway, at December 18th pre-council meeting, I spoke under the public hearing section of the agenda and made some suggestions on the 2019 budget. When I started to comment on the city, how they get the money to fund my ideas, I was told I reached the 4-minute mark. I made a comment, the 4-minute rule does not apply to public comment section of the meeting. What I meant to say, and it did not apply to the public hearing part of the agenda. But you figured it out, because the next day when temporary city manager made his comments at the end of the city council meeting on public speaking ordinance, he said the public hearing does fall under the 4-minute rule. I would like to address that statement about the memo I made reference to at the meeting. If you look at the city agenda, you will see the rules for speaking on agenda items. It clearly states this section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding items listed on the agenda, except for items listed under public hearing. Now look down the agenda and you'll notice there's no restrictions listed for public hearing section of the agenda, and it's there for a good reason. To remind everybody, the ordinance on public speaking was part of my package, which included an ordinance on council members' absence of more than 60 days, the handbook, job descriptions, due council members, et cetera, et cetera. I presented this to the council, and it took 412 days to get passed because of the politics of the previous administration. During the Legislative Committee on Public Speaking on March 25th, 2015, Corporate Counsel Marty Shanahan was explaining his draft and stated, quote, "Just so everyone is clear, public hearing, different. Does not necessarily apply to the time limit because it's covered by the state statute," unquote. Jim Haller also stated the Plan Commission never limits time on public hearings. Marty said that's good. In the memos dated March 31st, 2015 and June 15th, 2015, addressed to the Mayor and City Council from Jim Hawk, City Manager, he stated public hearings will be conducted in accordance with state and case law allowing for additional participation by the public, unquote. So I have to ask, when was all this changed? When was the new proposal presented to the Land Use Committee for their review? Was the state statute changed? On January 18th, Corporate Counsel presented a packet of information, was not attached to an agenda item on the Plan Commission. He stated he was trying to develop comprehensive rules and procedures for the whole city. If you look, the 4-minute rule is being applied to other committees, and the citizens to be heard is being placed at the beginning of the agenda, just like the council meetings. It's important to remember that the intent of any ordinance before you unilaterally apply it to other situations. As the author of the complete package that was presented way back then, I can say it was never the intent to apply to other committees. After all, there are times that documents are not attached to the committee agenda for review, but passed out at the meeting to committee members only so they can even comment before, so you can't comment before the meeting because you don't have no access to the documents. In conclusion, it appears the city is going backwards on an open, transparent government. No one should be allowed or have the usurping authority to go around and change the intent of city ordinance and apply new rules to committees without presenting it to the Land Use Legislative Committee for their review and approval. I do not agree with the statement that Mr. Shanahan made at the December 19th council meeting that the 4-minute rule does apply to public hearing part of the agenda. Discussions at many, many meetings, in his own words, prove otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Next is Mayor and Council comments.
Yeah, I just got a couple things. One, I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Betsy Satcher and Erica Holmes for turning around their East Side neighborhood meetings. They started, well, when we finished last year, The meetings were between 5 and 8, 9 people. And we started off January with over 40 people in attendance. It was really nice to see Ms. Satcher and Ms. Holmes working well together. And then another subject, the Rialto starts their movie series this Thursday night with the Blues Brothers. So if you can get down there and show your support for the Rialto, it'd be great.
Your Honor, yes, thank you for the opportunity. I just would like to remind our residents that there will be an MLK event, Martin Luther King event on Saturday at the Jacob Mansion, and then again on Sunday afternoon at St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church. So please come out and join us for that great celebration.
Happy New Year to everyone watching and to the city at large and to my colleagues up here and staff.
No, I didn't have anything, but Don spoke about the East Side Neighborhood Meeting and the wonderful turnout that we had. But I think that it was because Mr. Jones was coming. He was on the agenda to speak about the sport. That's what I think.
I think you're right.
I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight if I didn't mention that. Steve came out and made a presentation of the new business that's opened up in the old certified grocery store. A lot of the residents came out, I believe, because he was on the agenda. That's what I'm going with. I'll take it. Thanks again, Steve. Thank you.
I do have two new things. I talked to city manager about this, and Kendall Jackson and David Brainer. Some communication issues that we have with our residents. We have an Everbridge system in place, and we're going to start using that to put out text to the citizens for when we have 2 or more inches of snow, not to park on the street, to move their car, or water main breaks, which we're already doing, but other events that happen in the city. So we're going to work on that. And the citizens will figure out how to do it, but if you have a cell phone and you're not hooked up with the city, you can go on the website and click on the Everbridge app. Is that correct?
The directions are on the website, but they can also call the information desk.
Okay, and then call with their cell phone number so that they can be part of this. The other thing was I had a request from a citizen on the far west side, and he wanted a sign, since our boundaries are so far out to the west side, we go all the way to Grove Road in Caton, and I'm sorry, John, I didn't give you a heads up about this, but he wants a sign out there that says they live in Joliet and not Plainfield. So I thought that was a plus. So I did talk to Kendall and Russ Lubash, and they're going to be looking into that to see if we can't get a sign out there that says, you're now entering Joliet. And the other thing we talked about, I talked to Marty about waste management. I don't know if this is feasible or not, but I had plenty of calls. Since we had such a cold October and November, and then December was so warm, people were doing yard work, but then they didn't know what to do with the yard waste because the yard waste had been stopped. So we were going to look in to see if maybe, I don't know, maybe if we could get like a 1 or 2 pickup in the wintertime when the weather is nice. But I doubt that's going to happen because they have nowhere to put the waste.
Yes, correct.
So, but I tried.
So, and it's not just waste management, this is from Waste Management. There's no hauler in Illinois that offers a service year-round because it's not a year-round operation.
So there you have it, I tried. But anyway, we're going to work on those other things. And other than that, Happy New Year to everybody. Stay safe and be well.
Marty, on Ruby Street between Cora and Center, there's a relatively new convenience store located there. And I think from what I'm hearing from the neighbors up there, the traffic and parking has gotten real chaotic. People are parking on Ruby Street. People can't see coming out onto Ruby Street from Cora or Center because it's blocking the vision. So could you have somebody look at that and see if they can do, they've talked to the people, I think, that own the business, but it's gone nowhere. But if you could have somebody look at maybe some restricted parking up there, maybe.
Our award-winning Jim Trisna.
That's great.
But I'd like to piggyback on that because I did call Neighborhood Services about that as well, Mike, and there are no parking signs up there, but the folks that go to the grocery store, they park there anyway. And the people that live there park there anyway, even though there's no parking signs. So I think we need code enforcement as well over in that area.
Whatever.
Anything else?
Yeah.
That's it.
I would like to echo your comments earlier. Thank you to Joe Strong and Dominic Orlando for their service on the Plan Commission and the Police and Fire Board. January 3rd, there was a grand opening at Cut 158 downtown, the Steakhouse. Most of the council was there. Marty, I know you were there also. It was really, really a terrific meal, so good luck to the owners of Cut 158, and give it a shot. And Joliet, it was a great steakhouse. And then finally, I want to wish happy birthday to my beautiful wife, Rebecca. She's at home watching, so
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rebecca.
Happy birthday,
Rebecca.
that's all I have.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
I said no.